darkness, silence, then a sound. Wind. Pure, raw wind accelerating beyond anything natural. And then, in less than 3 seconds, it's over. 390 kilometers per hour. That is not a sports car. That is not a motorcycle. That is a living creature. Feathers, bones, heartbeat, diving through open sky with the precision of a missile and the elegance of something perfected over millions of years of evolution. The Peregrine Falcon is the fastest animal ever recorded on this planet, and most people have never truly understood what that means. Today, we go inside the science, the anatomy, the near impossible survival story of this extraordinary bird. By the end of this video, you will never look at the sky the same way again. But before we talk about what this bird can do, we need context, because numbers alone tell us nothing. Context tells us everything. The cheetah reaches 112 kilometers per hour. The sailfish cuts through water at 110. The peregrine falcon, in full dive, moves at 390. We are talking about an animal that in one single second covers more ground than most humans can sprint in 5. Every fastest animal list you have ever seen was incomplete because every single one of them forgot to look up. The peregrine lives on every continent except Antarctica. It nests on Arctic cliffs and Saharan rock faces, and right now, at this very moment, there is almost certainly one within 10 miles of wherever you are watching this, nesting on a ledge 30 floors above the street, watching. We know it is fast, but knowing the number is not the same as understanding the physics. To truly grasp what this bird does, you have to watch it work. To understand the peregrine falcon, you need to understand the stoop, the technical name for the hunting dive. The falcon climbs high, often above 1,000 meters. It circles, scanning below with visual precision we will come back to. When it locks onto a target, a pigeon, a starling, a duck in open air, it does not chase, it calculates. Then it folds. Wings pressed tight, tail narrowed, head down, the falcon becomes a projectile. Gravity and muscle and 300 million years of evolution pulling in exactly one direction. At peak velocity, the forces on its body reach 25 times the force of gravity, 25 G. An F-16 pilot blacks out at 9. The peregrine sustains nearly 3 times that and steers through it. How does it breathe? Inside its nostrils are tiny bony spirals called tubercles that regulate air pressure before it reaches the lungs. Engineers designing jet engine intakes studied this exact structure. The falcon had already solved the problem millions of years before we thought to ask the question. The dive is a marvel of physics, but the dive is only the delivery. What happens at the end of it reveals the bird's true nature. Here's the detail almost no one talks about. The peregrine falcon does not kill with its talons. Eagles grip, hawks grab, the peregrine hits. It strikes with a half-closed fist at full speed, kinetic force equivalent to a small collision. The prey does not see it coming, does not react. By the time the sound of impact reaches the surrounding air, the strike is already over. And if the blow alone is not enough, the peregrine's beak carries a specific notch, a tomial tooth designed to slip between the vertebrae and sever the spinal cord. Clean, immediate, final. This animal, weighing less than a coffee mug, is the most efficient aerial predator evolution has ever produced. Speed, precision, lethality, every system optimized for the hunt. But there is one system we have not touched, and it may be the most extraordinary of all. Because we have watched what the falcon does, we have not yet understood what the falcon sees. The peregrine falcon sees 8 times sharper than a human. Not 8%, 8 times. Every edge harder, every distance closer, every movement registered with a clarity that makes our vision feel like frosted glass. It has 2 foveas in each eye. Humans have 1. The falcon maintains sharp focus both ahead and to the side simultaneously. 2 streams of perfect visual information processed at the same time. From over 1 kilometer up, it identifies and tracks a pigeon. It distinguishes individual wing beats. It calculates trajectory from a single glance. And it sees ultraviolet light, completely invisible to us. The world the falcon sees is not a sharper version of our world. It is a different world entirely. When aerospace engineers developed targeting systems for military drones, they studied the Peregrine Falcon. The solution had already been alive and hunting for millions of years. A body built for impossible speed, eyes that perceive what we cannot. By every measure, this is one of the most perfect creatures evolution has ever assembled. And yet, it came within a breath of vanishing from Earth forever. What happened is something no one should forget. In the 1940s and 50s, a pesticide called DDT spread across North America and Europe. It entered the food chain. And the Peregrine Falcon, at the very top of that chain, absorbed it in devastating concentrations. DDT did not kill the falcons. It did something slower. It thinned their eggshells, so fragile that the mother's own weight was enough to crush them. Season after season, the eggs collapsed. The population did not crash violently. It quietly, steadily erased itself. By 1970, the peregrine had been eliminated as a breeding species across the entire eastern United States. In the UK, numbers had fallen over 80%. A species that had existed for millions of years was being written out of existence by a compound sprayed on crops.
There were scientists who noticed, who collected data, who published findings that were ignored, disputed, and dismissed. One of those scientists was Rachel Carson, whose book Silent Spring documented the collapse of bird populations with a precision that could not ultimately be argued away.
DDT was banned in 1972. Breeding programs began. Biologists carried eggs by hand. Chicks raised in captivity were released onto cliff faces, bridges, and city buildings. It worked. Today, an estimated 140,000 peregrine falcons live worldwide. The falcon did not simply survive, it came back, and it adapted in ways no one predicted. It came back to the cliffs and the wild coastlines, but it also looked at what we had built, our towers, our bridges, our stone cathedrals, and made a decision. It moved in. Cities offer exactly what falcons need. Skyscrapers replace cliff faces, and cities are full of pigeons, unlimited year-round, requiring no migration strategy. New York, London, Paris, Chicago, Sydney, every major city has its resident falcons. In New York, a bird known as pale male nested on Fifth Avenue for 22 decades, raised dozens of chicks, and inspired a documentary and 2 books, 30 floors above Central Park, in full view of millions who had no idea he existed. Wildlife cameras on nest boxes draw hundreds of thousands of viewers every spring, watching chicks grow into birds capable of 400 kilometers per hour, on the ledge of an office building, above the noise of the city, in plain sight. The falcon adapted to our world, but long before our cities existed, humans had already found this bird and recognized something in it they could not leave alone. Falconry is at least 3,000 years old. The earliest records come from Central Asia, where nomadic cultures built a partnership with the peregrine that was equal parts practical and profound. The practice spread along trade routes into Persia, Arabia, China, medieval Europe. By the Middle Ages, only a king was permitted to fly a peregrine. The bird was worth more than most men would earn in a lifetime. Today, falconry is recognized by UNESCO as an intangible human heritage in 2016. Millions of years of evolution, a near extinction survived, a return no one dared predict. When you hold all of that together, one thing becomes very clear. There is a lesson here, not a comfortable one, but an honest one. The peregrine falcon evolved a body so refined that aerospace engineers studied it. It sees a world we cannot access. It moves at speeds our physiology cannot survive. And in less than 30 years, we nearly erased it. Not through violence, through carelessness, through the assumption that what we were doing could not possibly matter that much. Then, a small number of people paid attention, pushed, refused to accept the loss as inevitable. And it came back. The peregrine is not a symbol. It is a real animal, alive right now, above a city near you, watching the ground with eyes that perceive a world you will never directly experience. The fastest creature on Earth almost disappeared because we stopped watching. Now we are watching again, and so is it. If this video changed how you see the sky, even slightly, subscribe. Drop one word in the comments, just one. The first word this bird puts in your mind. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. We'll see you in the next one.